Poetry to me is a way to paint mental images in the mind of the reader, feelings and emotions that can't be expressed visually are actually created for the person who's reading a poem in their mind. It's a way of imparting an emotional response or a story or an idea about something. That's what poetry is. And if it's Dr. Seuss, it's a way to teach children how to make up words.
For me, poetry, I guess it's a way to learn about your own emotions. For me, that's how there's a lot of ways to learn, like, reading a textbook, you learn about something. Poetry is something you learn about who you are. You learn about kind of your emotional state of mind. Yeah, that's what it means to me.
I don't know. Like, I don't really think about it that much. I guess poetry that I really like is like with rhythm, like the spoken word kind of stuff. Sure, yeah. He's not really a spoken word kind of guy, but
What is poetry to me? I think poetry is artistic expression through word, through word. And I know poetry can also be, in song or anything like that, but I think it's one of the most pure forms of just feeling, of expression, of really anything in word form. And that, I think it could be spanning any number of genres here, too. I'm thinking books, I'm thinking actual poetry itself, I'm thinking songs, I'm thinking even random phrases that some people say. That can all be poetry.
Poetry, for me, especially growing up, being raised by a librarian, has its roots in literature, but I think I can also look at poetry on a greater sense to music, to prose, even to art, and anything. I see poetry as any way that a person tries to express themselves in an artistic or lyrical way.
Poetry, to me, okay, my first thing, I hear poetry and I think of bad, shitty writers who are just vomiting words onto a page with no craft at all. That's like 98% of poetry. The Shelleys and the whatever, there are good poets who write good things that, that stick, that make a difference, that are beautiful writing. But everybody, I think literally everybody that I've ever met that has called themselves a poet was a shitty writer just barfing words onto a page.
All right, moving on from that. What does poetry mean to you?
Poetry means, just kind of a therapy for whoever's writing it. I've written songs, and I assume it's kind of a similar situation where you got something you want to say and you need to get it out in some way, and you just try to express it in the truest and most direct manner, and then whatever's on your mind kind of influences how that comes out.